Hello you guys, welcome back to the Kneady Homesteader channel. And are you ready to break the internet? Because we're going to break the internet with this sourdough bread. It is s'mores sourdough. And look at it. Just look at it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, so we're going to make this together today. I'm going to do this in stages. So I have another sourdough loaf that's going to go in that bread baker right here, which I have lined. If you're going to make this, line it with parchment. Learn from my mistakes. This is what I'm going to teach. Because this will goo out a little bit from underneath and it will stick to the bottom. So what I'm using is dampened parchment paper along with one of these silicone lifters. This really is just because I have very weak wrists from my injuries. So this just helps aid me in that. But this is going to be our end result. And so we're going to make it today together. I'm going to kind of shoot this in different stages because over here we have a loaf ready to go in. So I'm going to bring you back when we're at this stage to put it into the oven. But this is a 2-day project, okay? 2-day bread. So if you want to make this, you're going to have to kind of set aside 2 days to do it, okay? All right, so with that, I'm going to piece all this together. I'm going to show you how I did it. I know so many of you wanted the recipe. I will share with you. I know many of you aren't on TikTok, but this is a gal that I found on TikTok. And I will share with you her TikTok channel so you can go over there and check her out. But let's get to making this. So this is how we're going to start. We are going to start by using our scale. Because when we use grams, especially when it comes to baking bread, it's just more accurate. Everybody's 1 cup can be different depending on your flour that you're using, how old it is, all of that, how much you pack it. Especially when you're learning how to do bread, for me, weighing it out made all the difference in the world. When I wasn't weighing it out and I was just going by like cups and tablespoons, my bread was very inconsistent and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I wasn't really doing anything wrong, I just wasn't weighing it, so it wasn't consistent. So we're gonna do consistent. So I think I'm gonna start with this little guy right here. So we're gonna put this is how I do it. I put my measuring cup on and I'm gonna tear it out. Okay, and then we are going to measure out. Grab my little stirrer. Have you take a look into my sourdough starter, okay? And we are going to measure out. Oh, look at it, so good. Oh, I could just look at sourdough all day. Okay, 100 grams. Now I'm going to put a little bit more in here because it would help if I actually weighed it out in grams. Okay, let's try that again. Use our error. I'm not good at multitasking anymore. Okay, here we go. Let's change that to grams. There we go, Heather. All right, 100 grams, but we're going to go over because I don't like to have to scrape my little bowl. So it's just not easy for me to do with my hands. So I take it a little bit over and then that way you don't have to worry. So, but if there's nothing wrong and you can do it, go ahead and measure out 100 grams. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour this right into our mixer. And I don't have to worry so much about being really picky on scraping it all out because I know I have extra in here. Okay. Now we're going to do our water. So I'm going to go ahead and put our little glass on there. I'm going to tear it out to 0. And now we want 350 grams of lukewarm water. I'm going to take it to 250. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put that in my mixer. And then we're gonna do another 100. It's a little over, I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, now we're gonna do our flour. So I'm gonna put just a metal bowl. I'm gonna tear this out, and now we're looking for, we're gonna be adding 500 grams of bread flour. A little over, I'm not worried about that. I'm going to put that in. And then the last thing we're going to do is salt. So I'm going to put that on there. And just have a little dish. And I'm using sea salt. And we need 10 grams of salt. Don't forget the salt, otherwise your bread will taste like nothing. Perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and right on top of the flour, because you don't, salt can kill yeast, especially your sourdough. So you want to kind of keep that separate. Okay, got my dough hook on. And now I'm just going to lift my bowl, and we are just going to mix this till it all comes together. We're not looking for a dough ball. This is like totally different than doing a yeast bread. So we're just looking to incorporate everything together, making sure that there's no lumps of flour. It's going to be really shaggy. So, all right, we're just going to let that mix out. So once it's all well mixed, you'll see it's very shaggy, looks very different than when we make traditional yeast bread. So now I'm going to I'm just going to drop my bowl. Get this. And then we'll go over to the butcher. Clean hands. I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. Now I'm just going to lightly put a little bit of flour. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to gather this in a ball. I don't want to add flour to it. I just want to make sure it can't stick to my hands too much. Okay, just so that we have like some kind of form, some kind of shape for it. Okay, and now we are going to cover this. Let me get a hot steamy towel. So, got our dough there. And now I'm just going to cover this. This is, I put really hot water and wring this out. I'm just going to cover this and let it sit for 1 hour. And then after an hour, we'll come back and we'll start our stretch and fold. Okay, so it's been an hour. And now we're going to begin our stretch and folds, okay? So all we're going to do is I don't have any flour on my hands. If you need flour, you can use it. But basically, you're going to just stretch it and fold it over. Okay? Stretch it, fold it over. Stretch it, fold it over. Try to scrape it from the bottom so it's all incorporated. We're just going to form back a dough ball. I'm going to do one more over here. And I like to just make sure and then I'm just going to fold it over. Okay, so now we're back to a dough ball. Now I'm going to set my timer for 30 minutes. In 30 minutes we're going to come back and we're going to do that again, we're going to do it 3 times, okay? 30 minutes is up. Let me take off my rings. Let me wash my hands. And let's do the second stretch and fold, okay? So that's what it looks like. Okay, same thing. Gonna pull, stretch, pull, stretch. I wish I was a little bit more graceful, but I'm just so thankful my hands can even do this. It's amazing. So, all right. Oh, look at that. So, as the second one happens, look at the difference in the dough ball. All right. So now I'm gonna put this back over it, and we're gonna come back in another 30 minutes, and we'll stretch and fold for the last time. So this is going to be our 3rd time. Look at that. Nice clean hands. We're just going to go ahead and stretch and fold. Stretch. That we've done our 3rd one, we're going to go ahead, we're going to cover this back up, and now we're going to let it rise for 3 hours. So I'm going to set my timer for 3 hours, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so it has been 3 hours, and there is our dough ball. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, I want to make sure you guys can see it. Okay, so now what we're going to do, with clean hands, of course, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my scraper. I'm going to go ahead and scrape this dough, all the pieces to it, right out. That's why I couldn't find it. I left it in my organic flour jar. Alright, so I use one of these little tea balls, and they work really good for just sprinkling light flour so you don't overdo it, because with my hands sometimes I can just be a little heavy-handed. Okay, so let me get my scraper back. I'll scrape this off. Do this before. Don't be like me here. Okay, just so that it doesn't stick to the wood. Alright, so then what I do is I just kind of stretch it out, and then move this stuff out of my way, and then we're just going to add a little bit of, very little, onto the rolling pin, and I'm going to roll this out. Okay, so it should look pretty rectangle like that, okay? Then what we're gonna do is, make sure you can see that. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add the chocolate chips. Now I'm gonna use, so we're adding all of the kind of like the fillings. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add chocolate chips. I chose to do a milk chocolate. So we're just going to kind of spread this out. Okay, a semi-sweet chocolate. I've got an audience. Say hi, Mason.
Hello.
Mason says the air in here, the house smells so good, right, Mason?
Yeah. Earlier the entire kitchen smelled like s'mores.
Alright, and then I'm going to do graham cracker. I was telling Mason back when he was little, 10 years ago or so now, he used to do the baby bread dance. And many of you OGs to the channel remember that little bread dance that Mason used to do, because bread used to make him so happy. And Matt just loved, your daddy loved it when you danced for bread. It was so cute. Okay, so save the rest for the other topping. Okay, so then what we do, are you watching and taking notes now, Mason?
Yep.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to pull this, and we're going to fold it. We're going to fold it in threes, okay? So hopefully, hold on, I want to see, Mason, if we can't get them. There we go. There we go. Is that better? Oh, yeah, that's better. Okay, so now you're kind of on top of it. Okay, so then I'm going to do this side, and we're going to fold it. Okay, and I'm just going to pinch the edge. Hopefully, you need to be my wingman, honey. Make sure it's in the shot. There you go. I can't see that tall. Okay, and then I'm going to pinch the end here. Okay, so our inside fillings doesn't, they don't fall out. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to press it down. Okay, get all the air pockets out. Get all that filling pressed into the dough. And then we're going to add more milk chocolate. Okay. Dark chocolate. Thank you. Nina started cheer camp today. So Danny went to go pick her up, so she's not here to steal the pieces of chocolate, because that's what she does. Mason steals the marshmallows, she steals the chocolate. Alright, so then a little bit more graham cracker. We'll do a bit more marshmallow. I'll save you a couple of marshmallows in there. How's that? Okay, it's the equivalent of licking the spoon.
Yeah.
Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to fold that up. Okay, and all the little guys that fell out, shove them back in. And then we're going to fold this up. Okay, and all the little insides that fall out, just stick them back in. Then we're going to go ahead, can you see that? We're going to just pinch the side. Okay, the side, same thing. Oh. Okay, I'm going to pinch it closed. Okay, and then once it's all pinched, we are going to kind of roll it. I got a couple that just will not stick in them. Will not stay in. I might have overstuffed it. Alright, here we go. Put those to the side. Alright, so we're gonna just stretch and tuck, stretch and tuck, stretch and tuck, and then I need one of these here. We are going to get the flour. Now right now I'm using just lightly flouring it. I need rice flour. I don't want to buy any though. I want to mill my own. So that is coming because I have my mill. It's just finding the time to do it. Okay.
Look at that little
Then I'm
bump.
gonna flip this over. I'm gonna make sure that all this is nice and sealed, and we have a loose chocolate chip there. Okay. Now we're gonna take this and upside down, we're gonna put it in there. Okay. Kind of pinch anywhere where the dough is a little thin. Stretch it over. Okay, then I want a rag. Okay, and then once that's all done, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna add just a little sprinkling of flour on the top so that it doesn't, grab some more. So it doesn't stick to my rag as my rag dries. Just a little, okay? And then we're gonna take this time it's a cool rag. Usually I do hot, but this is cool. Now you can put this in your fridge. My kitchen is very cold though, and I keep my house at 66. So last night over a long ferment, this had no problem. I had 2 loaves that had no problem doing a long rise on my counter. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna let this rise now overnight. So I would say 8 to 10 hours. And then in the morning we bake it. And that's where I'll pick up. And then we'll cut into it. Which is the part that Mason is waiting for, right, Mary?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you guys, we'll see you in the morning. So now we are at this stage, which is going to be for you the very next morning. It's the next morning for me. So this has risen all night long. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to transfer it from its bowl here to the baker. Now, like I mentioned, just wet your parchment paper. We cut this one to fit the pan, and then I use a silicone bread lifter. I will leave a link to this along with my bread baker down below. I got them both on Amazon. This just helps me because I'm more handicapped. I have more physical challenges now, so I use additional tools now that just make it a little easier for me to do the things that I love to do. So with that, we're gonna just bring this out. So what I do is I just gently, lovingly hold my bread and plop her out gently, gently. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna score her. So let me get my blade out. And we're just gonna score it with like an X or a plus sign, okay? So you don't want to saw, but it might be a little dry. So if you don't have one of these tools, I will leave a link to them down below. It does make it easier than using a serrated knife. You want to just make a nice cut in there. Okay. And then we are going to get our water bottle. This is the key to a good crust and expanding bread is the water. So we're going to kind of steam this because we're going to put the lid on it. And then what I do is I will also add a couple ice cubes. So 4 ice cubes for me. All right, we'll make it 5. My ice cubes, you'll see, are kind of tiny out of my fridge. And I'm just going to put them right down here under my silicone mat. And that's going to help with the steam. I'm going to be setting this in a 450 degree oven. We're going to bake it for 38 minutes. And then I will bring you back and I will show you the next step. So our bread is done with the 38 minutes. So I'm going to bring it out, and this is where we're going to add some extra marshmallows. I only have the s'more size, and my first loaf, I just put the whole thing on, not realizing how fluffy they would get. So what I did is I went ahead and I took the marshmallow with my KitchenAid shears, and I cut mine into quarters. So I would say if you're using like a regular sized marshmallow, cut it in half, because that's about the size of a regular marshmallow. Cut it in half, and then that way it should, you know, brown up and melt a little bit easier for you. But let me take you over to the stove. It's been 38 minutes, so we're going to take the lid off, because this is when we're going to brown these marshmallows. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another spray of water to help crisp up the crust, and then I'm going to take marshmallows, and we're just going to kind of tuck it into the bread as we go here. There's no rhyme or reason. Now, I originally saw this on a Facebook group of sourdough bakers that I joined, and couldn't find the recipe anywhere. And then I noticed that there were quite a few people doing it, but not sharing the recipe. So I found this girl on TikTok that shares her recipe, and it's very basic, so anybody can make this. It's 4 ingredients. I mean, besides the graham cracker. And then I'm just gonna add 3 more, because why not? 2, 3. All right, now we're not going to put the lid back on. We're just going to put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes so it can brown up and get melty, and I'll bring you back when we pull it out. It's out of the oven. Now we're going to transfer this over to the butcher block, and we're going to put on all the decorations. All right, let's go. So if I'm just being honest, the kids have been swarming the kitchen. The smell of fresh baked bread with chocolate is pretty incredible. All right, so you see how the paper kind of stuck there? Let me get this moved out of here. So the paper will peel off a lot nicer than trying to peel it off of out of your cast iron pan or pot or cooker, whatever you're gonna bake your bread in. So this will just come right off. So what we're gonna do, and I had this little spatula. I just like to make sure that nothing's falling out, and so if you've got to push anything in and up, now's the time to do it. Okay, so it doesn't fall. Now we're gonna top this. So all I'm gonna do is we're gonna add some Hershey's chocolate to it, which will melt, okay? And then we're gonna add some graham crackers, some pieces of graham cracker. So mine is kind of broken up, but that does not matter, because we're just gonna kind of tuck it in between all the marshmallow, little bits and pieces. Okay, I'm just gonna break that apart. Just tuck it in, because this really is just about presentation. Just tuck those chunks up. Okay, and then I broke apart some Hershey bar, and we're just gonna place that in this as well. And it's up to you how little or how much. We We want the look. We want the look. Okay, I got one little piece of bar left. We'll tuck it right here. Okay. Okay. There it is. Now I'm going to let this cool just a bit before I peel off the paper, because right now it is like lava hot. But that is it. This is the one I baked earlier. I'll show you all the way around. So good, right? Now, we're going to break into these. We're going to at least break into this one. This one's still a little warm, but it's cooling. So I will be back. We'll end this video with breaking into one and taking a look at what it looks like. But look at that. Okay, now the moment of truth. And I think this is the nervous part of every bread baker is, what does the crumb look like? And everyone is here. We waited till Mina came home from cheer because I knew she would be upset if we did this without her, right, Mina?
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to actually, Danny, would you cut it? Do you know? Can you cut it straight down and then you got it? Mm-hmm. You probably have a better. My hands are kind of done for the day.
Ooh.
Look at that. Oh, look at that.
The sound.
I know, right? Okay, now it doesn't have to go all the way through, because I think what they do when they show the sourdough is they kind of fold it in half. Got it?
Whoa.
Ready? All right, let's look at the crumb. Ready?
Oh my god. That is.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
That good? All right, let me zoom it back. Let me zoom it back so you guys can get a good. Oh, where's my little zoom? All right, there we go. The little zoom. All right, look at that. The crumb on that is beautiful.
Wow.
Okay, are you ready to cut a slice and try it?
Yes.
And it's got really good crunch.
I want the part with the Hershey's, so that graham cracker.
Okay. Oh, we're running out of battery. We gotta hurry. Slice. Look at that.
Yes.
Now, disclaimer, because I had Dorothy yell at me on Facebook that this was healthy bread now turned into junk food. Look, I'm not going to recommend that you eat a loaf of this every day. Okay,
it's
a loaf
treat.
a day. It's a treat. Live life. As we know, tomorrow is not promised to you. So live life. Like, be everything in moderation. Okay. So Dorothy, you don't have to eat this bread, dear, if you don't want to. You live a healthy life, a happy life. But for those of you who want to try it, try the bread. Have the slice. Okay, you guys want to try it now?
Yes.
All right, let's try it. Oh, you want a whole... Yo, she just taking a whole slice. All right, Mason, come get a slice. Here.
Slice? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. You're not on camera, so you can go ahead and try to protect the kids. Because, you know, not everybody is nice like you guys. There's sometimes you can get some weirdos. Well, what do you think? Yeah? You like it?
No.
Maybe, are you for a loss of words? Oh, he's just all smiles. What do you think, baby?
Delicious.
Delicious? Oh.
Perfection.
All right, Danny, what do you think?
Wow.
Good?
I'm not a... Look, Mikey wants some.
Mikey loves Mama's homemade bread. That's our cat.
Wow, and I'm not a s'mores guy, so wow.
All right.
Really good.
All right. Let's take a taste.
I don't think I've ever had bread quite like that.
Very decadent. You can still taste the sourdough.
Oh, man. Oh.
I think I'm going to try like adding, you can even add vanilla to this if you wanted to. That is good. I was wondering how ginger snap would be. Like cinnamon and ginger. And ginger snap cookies. Mikey wants a you can't give him any chocolate though. He can't have chocolate, but
You can give him some pieces of bread.
you see him down there. Okay, this is a win. Should your cyber family try this? Should they go home and maybe they should make this at home?
Oh yeah. Yes.
It's a win. It's a win from my family to yours. Cheers. We love you. God bless. And I hope you enjoy it. If you try this, leave a comment down below. Let me know. And if you make a video, tag me so I can watch it. All right. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye.
Ooh.